Send your wives to Target. Put your kids outside.
It's garage time. Here we go. First week of June is here.
Man, this year is flying by.
Birthday month.
So, yeah, your birthday month. My daughter's birthday is this Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joint
So,
birthday party.
We could do it. You know the other thing that's
A
June
33-year-old and a 13-year-old? Or 12.
12, yeah.
33-year-old and a 12-year-old having a party together? That's not fun upon. Like,
I think it'd be fine.
we could throw a kegger. It'd be fine.
Right. Hell, half of the people that watch our podcast are in her grade anyway. So,
Dad, Bentley invited me to a kegger.
right. You know the only thing I hate about June? Sorry, and we talked about this a few episodes ago when we talked about yard sales.
Oh, right.
So this week is also cleanup week, which may not be a thing everywhere, but for our small town, basically you put anything you want within reason on the curb. They pick it all up on a certain day. We do this one time a year. Used to do it twice a year.
Yeah, so basically it's like a giant trash day.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hate, the town looks like shit.
Yeah.
Right? You can stack everything nice and neat on the curb. People are going to come through. They're going to dig through it. It's scattered all over the yard. So, like, I hate that. And the last thing, you put something out on the curb, everybody knows it's cleanup day. Everybody knows it's on the curb. Somebody's coming to get it. It's trash. Never fails. You're sitting there and you hear, "Can I have that?" "Yeah, it's on the curb."
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
yours.
it's trash.
Yeah.
How about it, man?
Does it still work? It's on the curb, man. I would have sold it if it worked.
Oh, yeah, it works, but I just want to throw it away because I need it out of here. No, I'm with you, though. Definitely makes the town look like shit. Like,
It does.
you get these giant, massive, heaping piles of trash, and I get it. Not everybody has a way to dispose of stuff throughout the year.
It's hard.
But, like, I literally will pile something up in my garage and just throw it away every week into my trash can.
Right.
Until it's gone.
Yeah, you can usually put a small amount in.
They don't ever say anything. I had a whole deck I cut up once.
Really?
And it took me 6 months to get rid of it. But I didn't
Bit
have to have deck boards sitting there until trash day, or I could find a way to burn them or whatever,
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And usually you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Everything that I've got on my curb right now, I've got a few wooden pallets that I used for a table for our pool the last couple of years. I put an old smoker out there. Somebody picked that up right away.
Oh, yeah. That's metal. That's metal. It's
Yeah,
going.
it's gone. And then an old glass table. Like, just stuff that they wouldn't noticed if I put out on trash day.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned this. So I completely forgot cleanup were coming. And I had a chair, an outdoor chair that had like the cushion got ripped.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way to fix it, so I put it out, and they took it.
Oh, yeah, somebody takes it right away.
I mean, so I don't know if trash took it or if they took it, because it was like 2 weeks ago.
I saw somebody this
Put it
morning.
gone.
Nice. I saw somebody this morning, and like, props to people that scrap. I never was much of one, but I know people that do.
Yeah.
But this guy was filling his truck up at Casey's, holding a long neck trailer, and he had bikes, washers, dryers. He had a fridge up there. He had the cab, only the cab of an old truck. Like, you could tell he's just taking all of this shit to the scrapyard.
So, how many bikes do you have to make this add up?
Dude, I don't know. It's because I know they go by weight,
Right? Yeah.
and they can't be that heavy. You can't put the tires in there. So,
Like,
how much does an aluminum bike really add?
not enough.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to this, we both were busy over the weekend. We had tournaments to kick off summer, which, when I say kick off summer, kids are out of school, so summer's officially off. That's what I mean by kick off there. Kids got out last, Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, here they got out last Wednesday.
You were in Peoria for basketball, I was in Jacksonville for baseball, and we didn't have good weekends.
Nope, we played 4 games. We lost all 4 of our games. Very, very physical teams.
Yeah.
Your tournaments, how did those go? Good cause.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a St. Jude tournament, so that's always good. Went down there Friday night. Of course, we're driving an hour and a half one way. So 3-hour round trip. Go down there Friday night, get beat like 20-0. That sucked. That was rough. Go down there again at 5 p.m. on Saturday night and get beat like 19-1. Get the lowest seed of the bracket, have to play at 8 a.m. on Sunday.
Ooh.
So for people like me that drove, I had to get up at 5:30. I was on the road by 5:30 that morning.
Right.
Because you got to get there an hour early and all that stuff. And yeah, it's a long weekend. Then we had another league game last night, and it's just I mean, these kids play 4 games of baseball on 4 separate days. And when you
Oh,
stretch
yeah.
it out over that time, I think it makes it harder.
Well, and it's a lot. We were talking this week, and for those, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera or not, but it's raining right now. If it wasn't for this rain, we were talking, there was like a 9-10 day stretch that somebody had a game every single day or
Yep.
night this week.
Yep.
Like, we had basketball, you had baseball, I had baseball last night. I think there was a game tonight that got canceled. Tomorrow night I have a game. Do you have one Thursday?
Thursday, yep.
Yeah, I've got one Friday. I've got one Saturday. It's like every single night.
Yep.
So
So who's playing Saturday?
Jacks,
Okay. Oh,
the
yeah.
Pee Wee, still
I
playing.
got T-ball Saturday.
Yeah, I was like, you got a game Saturday too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, T-ball kind of slipped my mind, to be honest with you.
yeah, you got to get
Um,
ready for that natty.
Yeah, I think we got, 2 or 3 games left. I think we have pictures this weekend, so that's cool.
There you go.
So yeah, T-ball's really taken off. Like hooting cats, basically.
Oh yeah.
So I got a young T-ball team. I think we have 3 kids that are 3, hopefully 4 now.
I always loved the ones that hit the ball and then run to third.
Yeah. I have 3 of them that hit the ball and just stand still.
Just stand
I
there.
walk. We literally have one kid walk. He's the last batter. Usually loves to run. So we
Yeah.
put him last. Walked the entire way around all the bases. Just wasn't having it.
Well, and Jax, he's 7, last night in our coach pitch game, he was standing on third base as a base runner, and one of his teammates hit it down the third base line, and it just bloops right into the grass, kind of right behind him. Gets off the base and he starts running for that ball. I'm like, dude, you're a base runner. Don't touch that ball.
Yeah. Dude, not you.
Yeah.
Not you. Let the other people do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta love it. Unsolicited advice.
yeah,
Kicking it off this week. Use up your PTO days at work.
I plan on it.
Not planning on it, so I don't really technically get any, but I take time off.
Yeah.
When I need to. I usually try to structure it around like a 3 or 4 day weekend or something like that.
Right.
When I know people aren't gonna want somebody trying to sell them a roof on their house or something, I try to take it off around then. We got vacation coming up here next month in July, so
Yeah.
we'll be burning up some there.
I used a couple for baseball games coming up. And I truly, it didn't even dawn on me. I started this job in September, and I don't think I used my first PTO day until February. And then it was just like, oh, dude, I have PTO. Because for us, the way that our PTO is structured, we have vacation time and sick time is all in one PTO bank.
But
So and I know there's a lot of people out there, and you hear them all the time, no matter where you work. I've got 300 hours of PTO saved up. Good for you.
yeah, what are you gonna
You
do?
know,
with it?
you're not going to
retire
take,
6 months early and click the paycheck for 3 months, 6
Right.
months.
and and I'm a big believer that your PTO. I hate that it's a PTO request
Right.
because it's like I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's not a request. This is my PTO.
Right.
But on the same side of that, if you have 300 hours of PTO, nobody's giving you 9 weeks off.
But no, yeah.
You know?
Like, hey, I'm not gonna be here for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see you guys in September.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Yeah, don't come back.
Right.
I'll pay this.
Right.
Right now, I'm a one lump sum.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
And you talk about, you were just talking about trying to plan to where people aren't going to be needing you so you're not missed at work. But how the fuck do you take 9 weeks off?
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, by the way.
I don't. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, because I don't get paid overtime, so I bank my hours and I can use them when I need to, or if I have a water heater breaks, I can cash in my overtime on that. I'm like, hey, you owe me X amount.
Mhm.
Yeah, I won't be here for a while till that's all caught up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he'd be like, oh, yeah, no, that's not how this works. Especially for us, we're hitting our busy season. We're
Oh,
in
yeah.
stride. I'm sure the storm tonight can have now 40 phone calls tomorrow morning, so that should be good. Probably 6 of them will say, I have a lift that's leaking. And
Right.
it's been leaking for 3 years, so that would be
They've
cool.
owned the house for 5 years and never been in the attic.
Yeah, right, yeah, so.
So,
But yeah, no, I used to be big on no, you have a job, you need to be there every day. And actually, it was your brother-in-law, when they were back, was talking about how, kids get an award for perfect attendance. And he was kind of like, man, that's stupid. I'm like, is it though? And I'm like, wait, we don't work. We don't go to work 100 days a year. Like we don't make 100% of work.
Right.
So why are we expecting kids to do that? You know.
Right.
No, so I'm like, oh, man, they got a point. You know, like.
Well, and I think it helps you to be a better employee because when you're, especially Monday to Friday, and you're clocking in, it gets monotonous, you're getting worn down. If you don't take that PTO and you don't kind of reset your battery,
Right. Yeah.
you're just turning into a little bit of a worse employee too.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets worn down.
Yeah.
You know?
And and that's what happened with me, you know. So I think I worked 7 straight weeks of over 50 hours. You know, when Memorial Day weekend came, I said, hey, I'm taking Friday off.
Right.
And my boss was like, you know, good idea. We've been grinding hard. You know, we had everybody off. He went golfing with me, and we had a good weekend. And, you know, coming back after Memorial Day, I'm ready to go. You know, had a 4-day weekend. Batteries were charged. I was ready to get selling. So now I'm like, oh, you know, cool. 4th of July is on a Friday this year, so maybe I'll take off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of deal. So, but when you take PTO though, are you supposed to do something fun, or are you supposed to do stuff around the house? Are you supposed to hang out with the kids? Like, what do you want to use your PTO for?
I think it's a good mix for both. To be honest, a lot of my PTO is used on the kids.
Right.
I mean, being completely honest.
I think most parents are that way.
Yeah, like I said, I used several for baseball games that are coming up.
Right.
Or, you know, class parties, things like that.
Right, yeah.
But I would not be opposed to, I'm going to build a deck in my backyard and I'm going to take a week off. Like, that makes sense to me. You know, you take your PTO. We, the last couple of years, have taken a vacation every year. Obviously, that's a great way to take your PTO.
Oh, yeah, that's the best way.
I prefer to do something with it. Like, I know people that'll be like, oh, I'm going to take this random Friday off. Like, yeah, if you don't really have a reason to, I'd rather save it up.
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess what I'm getting at is, like, obviously planning the vacation, you know, people are, oh, I do staycations. Yeah, no. I will not burn my PTO for that. If I'm sitting at home in my garage at 2 p.m. on a Monday, Wednesday,
yeah,
nah, I'm good. Like, if I don't have that reason, you know.
Like, and I think we're at a point in our life, you know, where you talked about last week, we talked about how we're starting to see, like, the older side of things. Especially if it's during the school year, but even if it's not, everybody you know is at work.
Oh, yeah.
So you're off of work. You're not really doing anything.
Right,
the kids might be in school if it's during the school year.
Right.
Like, what are you really doing besides sitting at home?
Yeah.
You know? And it never fails. Like, I don't know about you. Yesterday was a prime example. I got yesterday off because they need me to work an extra day this week. And I worked the whole fucking day.
You did.
Like, when you're at home, you find stuff to do.
Right.
And it's almost worse than being at work because your hunting to-do list is this long. Yeah. You know?
Like, oh, I've been putting this off for 6 months. I better get going on it.
Right.
You know? And then you find out, well, now I got to do this and this because of that.
Yeah,
I put it off so long that this needs fixing now too, and it
just spirals.
Yeah.
So, but as long as you use it, you know, it's your PTO. If you want to take the Masters off, if you want to take the NBA Finals off and watch it in your garage, so be it. It's your time off. I don't really agree with banking it.
Yeah, you know, it's funny bringing that up, bringing the sports into it. So I know people that take off the opening days of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I got 2 days of basketball day. Like, man, the game don't start till 11. Like,
right.
You can work a half day.
Yeah.
You can. You know, now, like, let's say you text me, hey, it's 9 a.m. It's 9 p.m. But hey, for tomorrow at 1:20 start, I got 2 tickets to Wrigley.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Boom, I'm going.
Right.
Like, we're hopping on the train or we're getting in the truck, whatever we're doing, we're gonna be there. You know.
Well, even if it's a Friday that it's gonna be nice, and text you and be like, hey man, I've got a PTO day to burn. Do you want to go golfing tomorrow? Like, that's still something.
Yeah, right.
You know, so makes sense.
You know, and let's get on to the next one because I think it kind of ties into the PTO a little bit.
Yeah.
So spending your money on memories.
Mm-hmm. You
know, I've gotten bigger into this as the older I get. Instead of trying to buy the new toys or the newest baseball bat or this or that, is what can I do with my kids or my family or even you guys that's going to build that lasting memory.
Right.
You know, whether it's vacation or, hey, it's a dumb trip down to the Dirty Bird to eat a sandwich that's exotic. You know?
Yeah, right.
Like,
It's a memory, and I agree. Like, I think somebody asked me the other day, we were having baseball practice, and really nice kid. He didn't mean anything by it, but he walks up and he goes, "Coach, why do you wear the same T-shirt every practice?" I'm like, "Dude, if I'm not at work, I've got like 3-4 T-shirts that I cycle between. Like, I just don't need that many clothes. You know, I have other T-shirts, but
I think you've worn this one for the last 4 or 5 podcasts.
I was thinking that. I've worn this several podcasts now. I didn't even realize it until I put it on. But one of the biggest things, I don't want to say regret, but for lack of a better term, one of the biggest regrets that I have is that I spent spare money on picking up a second car loan. And I understand you got to have reliable vehicles when you have kids, all of that stuff. But every single month that I'm making my second car payment on this second vehicle, I'm like, I could be using this money elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, truly, yeah. I could be.
But that's natural nowadays. I think everybody has 2 car payments.
I think
whether
so.
One's super small and the other one's giant or whatever. But I feel like 2 people. I mean, you just can't afford to be broke down. You're too busy, especially in a rural area. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if we lived in a city where we could just hop on a bus to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case. Like, you're driving 25 minutes to work.
Yeah, which is better than I used to. You're driving a lot for your job.
I could not go without a truck payment. It would not be feasible. Like,
right.
If I broke down, I'm losing so much more than a day's wages. Losing out on a potential job, losing out on, 2 or 3 days worth of work because now his truck got it. I mean, it's just not feasible. But no, I think everybody has that. So, and that's the thing. So, like we were talking about, planning the vacation. Like, I think this is the first year I've actually set a budget.
Right.
Instead of before I was like, no, I just want that house. Let's get the house.
Right.
And this year I'm like, no. Like, I want to be able to do extra on vacation. Like whether it's renting a golf cart to hang out for the week or something silly versus spending the extra money on the house. Because we got the pool last year and we rarely used it.
Right.
I mean, we had to kind of force ourselves to use that toward the end of the week. So my thought was, like, depending on where we go, there's got to be like a minor league baseball game we can go watch somewhere.
Exactly. And that's where, when we were looking at houses and stuff, like, obviously when we look at places, and when we plan this vacation together, we usually go to a beach. That's what we've done.
Right.
And there's no shortage of amazing beach houses if you want to spend a little bit more money. But is all of these extra amenities and how nice this house looks in pictures worth the trade-off of, this is also a nice house, but maybe we hit a minor league game. Maybe we go out to a restaurant we've never been in before.
Right,
maybe we take the kids to... A few years ago, we took the kids and saw the USS North Carolina, I think.
Yeah, the battleship.
The battleship, yeah. So it's like, if you can spend your money on those memories instead of just the nicest house that you can get,
Right.
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, I think your wife kind of hit it right on the nose when she's like, we spent the extra money for a pool, but you got to have one in the backyard.
Yeah.
So it's like, anytime we want, we just kind of hit you guys up, hey, can we use the pool if you're not going to be home? And you're like, yeah, just don't trash the house kind of thing. So it's like, do we need to spend an extra $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $5,000 to get a pool?
And there were some, like, nighttime.
No, nighttime is cool. It really was.
But,
like, because, you don't really want to be down at the waves at high tide. So you're like, oh, yeah, the pool. And you can just sit there, chill, drink a beer, and the kids are playing.
Yeah.
It had its moments. But it wasn't enough.
Not enough for that price tag.
We played some games in it, but like you said, we made some memories with it. But I'd like to think this time we'll make different memories, putting our money elsewhere.
I think so, and I'm excited to see where this vacation goes.
Oh, so it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, let's get moving on to the next one: recognizing alcohol abuse.
So, not to get all down and serious, but I think that we're getting to a point on our podcast we've talked about where developing our sound, we're connecting with our people that are watching and stuff, and sometimes that's got to be real talk,
right.
Yeah. And I think this is a big one. I don't know why this has been on my mind a lot lately, but for anybody that's been in the situation, like, I lost somebody that meant a lot to me because of alcohol, and like, I'm trained to see the signs, to evaluate somebody for alcohol abuse, and I missed it. So it's easy to miss.
Oh, it is. I mean, it really is.
And I can't imagine. It opened my eyes But we live in a society that like really pushes alcohol.
It does. Everything you do involves it.
Especially sports, which we're big on. Which is kind of where I got with this, because if you watch an NFL game, if you watch an NBA game, if you watch an MLB game, there's just beer ads everywhere.
Right.
It's hand in hand. If you're sports, you're drinking, and there's nothing wrong with that. We both have mentioned several times on this podcast, we drink part of our vacation. We love to sit down and have a beer. Last week we talked about the garage fridge having a beer. We're both drinking a beer right now, as a matter of fact.
Right.
But I think it's recognizing when that starts to cross a line.
Oh, 100%. And you talked about drinking a beer, but I mean, we're sitting here filming this at 8:53.
Yeah.
And this is the first beer I've had tonight.
This is the first beer I've had.
Since the beer we had together, probably?
Yeah.
A week ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, it's the same, because, I don't usually drink by myself, especially not during the week. Like, I got ball game practice, something with the park, something with some other committee. Wrong time to do it.
Right.
And then you get home at 8:30 at night, you're like, yeah, I'm not drinking a beer right now, If the Cubs are playing late,
Maybe,
grab one beer while you're watching the last 3-4 innings or whatever happens. But, I'm with you. So I was down in Jacksonville for that tournament this weekend, and it's in a complex.
Mm-hmm.
So they're paying to get in. They sell alcohol there,
Yeah.
at a kids' complex of games. Travel ball is a whole different beast. It's a different animal. But the fact that they're selling that there makes you wonder, like, why is society the way it is? Like, and you
Right.
can't fault them. They're making money on this. It's a business. I understand the scheme behind it. But you don't have to buy it.
Right. And we were just talking last week that, like, the garage fridge, again, which is hitting really big on TikTok, so obviously we connected with something that people recognize. But we talked about a guy that we were on vacation with and drank a whole cooler of beer
Right.
at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We talked about somebody that got into the fridge and finished off a fifth of whiskey and was hiding it from everybody else that was there that night.
Right.
There's signs. We've all seen people, and I'm not talking about tying one on. You've gone golfing and
Right.
I drank a little more than I should have.
Yeah.
We've had a fire and I drank a little bit too much. St. Patrick's Day, whatever. But I'm talking about, like, when it's really
Consistent.
becoming a consistent thing,
Yeah.
when it's starting to affect your life with your friends, your family, your kids. I mean, you got to know how to recognize those warning signs. And there's a super easy thing. It's called Cage, and I mean, just super simple. If you've ever felt like you need to cut down, if you ever felt annoyed because somebody talked to you about drinking, if you ever felt guilty for drinking, if you've ever drank a beer when you opened your eyes in the morning, those 4 things. You answer yes to any of those things, maybe it's time to take a look at yourself. It doesn't mean you're an alcoholic, but if those feelings are there, then there's something telling you that something's wrong.
Well, alcohol abuse doesn't necessarily mean you're an alcoholic.
Correct.
I mean, right?
Right. You can abuse it without being addicted to it.
Right.
And you can be addicted to alcohol. So,
yeah. You can be addicted to pretty much anything.
You really can.
It's a mindset. But
You can be addicted to our podcast.
that'd be a great one to have, though.
Don't stop doing that.
No, keep doing that. So, no, but like you said, you've been through it. So my thing is, you said you didn't read the signs. It's harder to read signs on people you know and trust, because they wouldn't do that.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, you might feel like you missed it. You might feel guilty about it, but at the end of the day, you weren't thinking about that person that way to be looking at the sign like that.
And sometimes you realize it's a problem and you don't realize how bad it is.
Oh, 100%.
And
everything's a little worse behind closed doors.
Right. And usually, what I just talked about, if people do feel guilty, if they feel annoyed, if they feel like they should cut back, it's natural human instinct to try to hide that. And they get really fucking good at hiding it.
Yeah.
I remember, just without going into too much personal details, when this opened my eyes because of the person close to me that was drinking so much, it was like shocking. Just like how much was actually being consumed and the length that somebody would go to try to hide this.
Right.
And as we're going into summer, as we're on this podcast, we're talking about sports, we're talking about vacation, we're talking about drinking a beer in the garage. Like, I'm just recognizing, if that's something you need help with, there's resources out there.
Yeah. Reach out to us. We'll help you out too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, point you in the right direction, give you a resource you need to know, message you. I mean, sometimes you just text somebody and, a little chat on the phone can go a long ways,
And sometimes it's helpful just to talk to somebody you don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Instead of somebody close to you because you worry about your career or how people are going to view you or whatever. Just reach out, man. Just talk about it.
Right. So, and that's the thing. We need to get away from being judgmental pricks anyway.
Yeah.
Like, the world's way too big about that. Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
well, and how many times, and a lot of times when we were younger, right? And especially being younger guys, but how many times did you go to a party or something and somebody be like, hey, you want a beer? And you're like, no, I'm good. Ah, pussy. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you don't want to, like.
You got sand in it for JJ today.
Yeah, like people just giving you shit about it. And it's like, why is it so abnormal for somebody to want to be around and not drink?
But,
like, where are we at?
So there's Sundays, like today, or, you eat a big lunch and you're freaking bloated.
Yeah.
And you go to hang out. Well, I want a beer. No, man, like, I'll be in the bathroom the rest of the night if I drink a beer right now.
Right.
But I should be able to just say no. It shouldn't have to come with the rest of the explanation of it.
Well, and we know, and again, not attacking anybody, we know people through coaching that are either watching their kids' games or actively involved in their kids' games, in whatever capacity that may be, that are taking shots or drinking while they're there.
Oh, 100%.
I've seen coaches. I've seen coaches that drink before practice and stuff. And why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in what place in society are we at where you're like, well, I'm getting ready to coach a bunch of kids. I better take a shot first.
Right, no shit.
I mean, come on.
And it's not the 90s anymore. You can't get away with that. Like,
oh, yeah. I mean, it used to smoke in the dugout while you're coaching.
Right, Bad News Bears style. Fun stuff. Sports, obviously going into the Cubs. 8-3 over Cincy, 8-3 over Washington.
Yeah.
Just played Washington tonight. I got to watch 2 or 3 innings of it between supper and getting ready for the podcast. So that's cool. Went out on the deck to eat supper and then came back in and the wife had changed it. So that was all I got. Like, I was like, you have Honey whoever on the TV and Chicago's playing. So,
well,
whatever.
They're 38-22 now.
Yes.
They won tonight. Tied. Last time I knew, tied for the best record in baseball.
Yep.
Or at least right up there.
They're right behind. I think the Mets might have it now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And making distance on the Cardinals.
Yes, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Love it. Go Cubs. Fuck the Cardinals.
Yeah. And you know what? I heard so many people, and we're pretty active. Again, I don't mean to just keep pushing this, but we're active on Facebook, TikTok. Like, we're in the Cubs forums daily.
Right.
But I saw so many people complaining this past week, especially with the series against the Rockies and the series against the Reds.
Right.
Like, those games were close. Oh, we should have swept them. Man, we got series wins with both of them. There's nothing wrong with that.
And to think that you're going to win a pro sport every single time is asinine.
It is. And every team has an off day.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Even the best teams have an off day.
Yep.
And we talk about it a lot in the NFL. Good teams find a way to win on their off days.
Right.
And in my opinion, what just happened with the Rockies and with the Reds, that's what we did.
That's exactly what we did. Won the series.
Yeah.
What did we go, 8-2 in the last 10?
Yep.
I think after tonight we're 9-1 in the last 10.
The thing that really scares me, though, is we were in such an easy part of the schedule. We're playing Washington now, which is good.
Yeah.
But the next 2 series before episode 16 is Detroit and Philly.
Yeah. And very tough schedules.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Cubs, I saw a meme today talking about MVP race.
Yeah.
You got Ohtani up there, and then you got 2 Cubs on that.
Tucker, PCA.
And PCA. And I was like, holy cow. Like, the thing is there's a couple other people I think should be up there.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't like the fact that a DH can win the MVP. Mm-hmm. Ohtani is only batting.
Right.
No, I'm good. I want somebody to play both.
Right.
You're out in the field, and you're batting. You're doing literally the entire game of baseball. You're not just swinging the bat.
Right. Yeah, because if that's the case, then you would talk about like Schwarber,
Right.
or, people like that are a great DH but don't
Right.
contribute really anything else.
Anything else? Yeah, exactly.
So
And not only that, but PCA is probably the best center fielder in baseball right now.
oh yeah,
And
when you
not
combine
really that
everything,
close,
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and his stats are incredible. Right
And
now.
he just got watching the game. He stole third base for his 20th steal of the season.
Wow.
And we're saying that's crazy, but still not Ricky Henderson stats.
No,
Yeah,
it's crazy for today's MLB,
Yeah.
but it's not anything like it used to be.
Right. So it's cool to see that. Hopefully we get Imanaga back here pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Our pitching's holding on. Kate Horton's been doing all right. Ben Brown's every other start is rocky, but he's doing okay.
We should be getting Imanaga back at any point in
I
time.
would have thought we had him this week, but I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
And then, I keep telling people, I'm like, I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off. Like, this team wasn't supposed to be this good.
Right.
Like,
Well, they said the World Series, the most predicted World Series matchup as of right now, and this is based on like FanDuel and DraftKings, people that are putting money on it right now,
Right.
is Detroit and Chicago. And I'm just like, nobody saw that coming.
no.
I mean,
And that'd be fun, though.
oh, it would be fun.
Like, Chicago versus Javi Baez.
Right.
Like,
I've been hitting it right at him.
yeah. If I hit this ball over here, he's going to get to the ball, but he's not going to make the throw.
Ben, listen. Throw it clear to the outside. He's going to swing.
Right. Yeah, and he's swinging a slider 3 feet outside the zone.
That spiked in the dirt.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Right. Swung at a buck.
But realistically, I'm kind of just going to keep my hopes up.
Yeah.
Keep them honest. Let's see where we're at here in 6 weeks when the All-Star break comes.
Right.
Then maybe I'll start getting, playoff bound, blah, blah, blah. But let's get through these next 6 weeks. As you said, we got 2 tough series coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You got the All-Star break in there.
And I don't think people realize baseball is such a long season.
Oh, it is.
And every team, usually, every team every year hits a slump at some point.
What'd you say the record was? 38 and...
They're 38-22, so they're on pace right now for like 101, 102 win season.
But we still have over 100 games left.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
That could change in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and the same thing with the Rockies. I mean, I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, who's a Cardinals fan, and we were talking about the same thing. Man, the Rockies and the Cubs, that was a really close series. It's the worst team in baseball, but they're still a professional team.
Exactly.
And eventually, they're going to turn it around.
Right.
They're going to start beating teams. They beat the Yankees. I mean, nobody gave them shit when they beat the Yankees. So,
maybe they did, we just didn't see it.
Yeah, we might not have, because
Yeah.
who fucking cares about the Yankees,
Yeah.
honestly. But, yeah. So, Cubs are doing great. Expectations are tempered, but I'm absolutely loving watching them play baseball right now.
And I mean, it does. It has the 2016 vibe all over again.
It does.
The team is gelling. You got Justin Turner being the clubhouse leader, who is like batting 210.
Yeah.
But he's out there in a more crucial way than what his stats are giving us.
Mm-hmm.
He's leading the clubhouse. He's setting up the young guys, helping the older guys who need to be leaders be better leaders. Dansby and Nico are playing great up the middle, and then you have literally PCA, the best center fielder in baseball right now, right behind him.
And Shaw has looked better since he came back up.
Loving that. Need to buy me a Shaw jersey.
Yeah, Shaw's looking good. About the only thing that's really killing us right now, Ian Happ hasn't looked so good since coming back from injury, but I'm hoping that'll come back.
And that's the thing. I think I was telling another buddy of mine, like, Coach Kelly's probably going to fall off. Tucker or PCA, one of them is going to hit a cold spell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably when we're going to see Ian Happ kick it in.
Right.
It's going to be like, oh, there it is. Now we're not losing a piece because he just took over what happened, and we're going to move on.
Right.
And I'm really hoping that's coming soon. Not that somebody else goes bad, but the Happ starts kicking it up to where he should be.
Yeah, and like I said, everybody goes through a slump. So
they do.
We're good.
And he's been great these last few years. I think
I'm not worried about him.
Yeah, he's due for some time down.
Right.
Like, he's carried us since 2016 when we had nothing else, and we got Happ, and that's been who we've had since.
Yeah, longest tenured Cub now that Hendricks is gone.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, NBA Finals are here, right?
Yeah.
OKC and
Indiana
Pacers. Right, like two teams that nobody put their money on.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's looking good, and it's really interesting because again, don't watch a lot of NBA, but when I look this up, Indiana has a very fast-paced offense, good at scoring a lot of points, and OKC has a lot of physical, big defenders. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out.
And it's funny because I've been reading a lot into this, mainly because I'm not a huge NBA fan, but they're saying that the Paul George trade 2 or 3 years ago set up this final matchup.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And it's like, okay, but you look at it, neither team has a dominant big three.
No, I mean, and Oklahoma City, they have an MVP player, SGA's MVP.
Yeah.
But Indiana doesn't. I mean, Halliburton's been clutch in the playoffs, but he's not SGA, he's not Giannis, he's not any of these superstars. He's not LeBron.
Yeah, no, he isn't. And honestly, I heard that name and I'm like, who?
Yeah.
I had to look him up, but I don't watch a lot of basketball anymore and stuff, especially NBA. So I had to I had to do some research on this, and obviously SGA, that dude probably should get MVP. Like, the things he's done this year to put OKC where they're at is phenomenal.
Well, and I didn't realize, I looked back because I was curious, OKC had the best record in the league this year, like across the league. Indiana didn't even win their own division, So, but they also, and I love this. I love this anytime you talk about it in sports. And I'm going to fuck up this stat slightly, but basically, in the last 10 years, a team has been down by more than 10 in the last minute of basketball and come back and won 5 times ever.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana's done it 4 times this year. In the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy shit, that's clutch.
Yeah.
So
to never back down, never give up dog mentality that you want.
Right.
And it's cool to see that, there's a team out there doing it. Like, I fully expected to see LeBron and Luka with Boston, Steph and his gang.
Right.
And that's what I expected, when I read about it. Hey, the finals are finally happening. And that's not what the case was. And, you're getting the Cinderella story with the Pacers.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to pull for them for a little bit. But then, I got SGA over here who I've read about. I'm like, man, he's been awesome.
Been good,
he's a new guy, new blood. Not new, but
newer.
He's not been in the league for 20 years like the rest of these guys we keep talking about. So it's kind of cool to see that. And honestly, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I think I'd go for the Pacers right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. I was kind of looking at when it started, and again, just really casual watching. I kind of wanted to see Luka get his first ring. I was kind of pulling for the Nuggets after what we talked about a few weeks ago with them firing their coach right at the end of the season. Right. I thought that would have been awesome.
Firing them up and getting them going, yeah.
But, I mean, this is a good matchup. So,
Well, let's keep it on in basketball. The topic I'm excited for, what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Is that why you wore the shirt?
That is exactly why I wore my Hawkeye stuff. Let's go. Right here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Last week, that viral video of Angel Reese getting fouled by Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about what happened before that.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese gets a rebound by pushing somebody in the back. It didn't get called by the refs, which is bullshit. It should have been called. But 2, you literally just did a blatant cheat move, and Caitlin Clark stood up for her teammate.
Right.
Like, why are we getting all racy about this when it's literally just competitiveness? That's all it is.
And so I tried to take, and first off, props to both of these girls, because a few years ago, neither one of us were probably talking about the WNBA.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. So they've really changed the image. But I tried to look at this completely unbiased. And statistically, Caitlin Clark has blown Angel Reese out of the water.
Oh,
and it's not even close.
Yeah, it's not. No.
Now, Angel Reese is a little bit more defensive-minded, and those stats don't show up as well.
But
so I will give her credit for that. But honestly, watching tape on both of these, I don't know why this is a discussion. Caitlin Clark's the better player.
Oh, 100% is.
And it's obvious.
It's the discussion because Angel Reese puts herself in the spotlight
Right.
by the negative comments she keeps making.
Right.
You know, do I think she's a great basketball player? That's why she is where she is.
Yeah, not doubting that.
That's not what we're arguing here. It's her personality, chick. Like,
and that's the other difference between the two. You know,
it's not. It has nothing to do with your race. It has to do with the way you act. You know, is Caitlin Clark always right? Hell no.
No.
She's out there doing stupid shit too, and we're gonna call her out on it.
Yeah,
the problem is, she takes her slap on the wrist and moves on.
Right.
Angel Reese went to sit and cry about it for 3 months.
And the problem is, like, so Caitlin Clark also can be very cocky.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she can have a bit of an attitude at times when she's playing, but she backs it up.
Yeah.
You know, and for that, I'm not saying that's a personality trait that you want out of a coworker or you want out of a boss or whatever, but in sports, how many of the great players had a chip on their shoulder and let you know they were better than you?
Right.
In every sport.
Yeah.
You know?
You want, like, if I'm playing a competitive sport as my job, I want the person who's going to be like, I'm better than you, and I'm going to ram it down your throat and show you.
Right.
Like, that's what I want on my team. Like, we're not sitting in a doctor's office seeing patients. Like,
right.
We're not selling roofs. No, we're in a competitive sport,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we're supposed to do with our job.
You got to have that mojo.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I mean,
you know, so, reading that stat on Angel Reese getting the rebounds.
yeah.
They're watching all the clips. I love the term rebounds. Love them. I watched one clip where she tried to shoot the same layup against the same defender 5 times and got every rebound.
Yeah.
That's 5 rebounds.
Right.
No, fuck off. Like,
And,
we gotta change this stat.
right.
You know, like, if it doesn't literally leave your hand enough to touch the rim, and you get the ball back, it should just count as like a turnover and a ball gathered
Yeah.
versus a rebound.
And this can probably be said about a lot of people, right? Like, you could say the same thing about Shaq. You could probably say the same thing about Giannis. You could probably even say the same thing about LeBron to a certain degree. If she was 4 inches shorter, this would be a whole different story.
Oh,
Like,
100% would be.
she's
Yeah.
just tall as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she is
so, I mean,
tall.
that helps too.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, like I said, both are very talented. I'm personally excited to see what Paige Buckners does.
Oh.
I think she's a phenomenal player that
She
got
is too, yeah.
completely overlooked by these two in college.
Well, if she doesn't get injured, does Caitlin Clark break the scene?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, Paige Buckers was doing it all, and then Caitlin
Right.
Clark broke the scene because she was down.
right.
You know, so.
Well, and
But like you said, one thing we want to point out is we love what these women have done for women's sports.
Mhm.
I mean, you put on the map. I think somebody who has a daughter playing, you respect this a lot. As somebody who never thought I'd be talking about college basketball or women's basketball, here I am talking about it.
well, I went out and I'll be honest. I bought my daughter not a jersey, but one of those jersey T-shirts.
Oh, the T-shirt,
I
yeah.
bought her a Caitlin Clark jersey shirt,
Yeah.
like when she was still at Iowa, because just the things that she was doing in college and the impression that she was making on young girls, my daughter included. Like, of course, I want to be a part of that.
Right, yeah.
You know?
And the thing is I love the people that are calling me bandwagon Iowa fans.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, like, for the women's aspect, sure, you can call me a bandwagon, like, but we all are.
Oh yeah.
Nobody can sit here and say, hey, man, I've been watching college basketball, women's college basketball since the 90s. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like, you
no.
have not. Like, nobody's been doing that, you know?
Right.
So, let's appreciate what these women have done for us. But, like, I'm with you. There is no debate, and I'm being biased, but the stats prove it, the clips prove it, the wins prove it. There is no debate. Caitlin Clark's better than Angel Reese.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. I just hate to see how we're taking two of the best things that have ever happened in women's sports and pitting them against each other.
And unfortunately, I don't think that this narrative is going to stop because it's part of what is drawing people in.
Oh,
Like that
exactly.
rival. You know, you had Tom Brady, you had Peyton Manning.
Right.
You know, you had Mark McGuire, you had Sammy Sosa. Like, we live off of these rivalries.
Right.
I don't think this is going away anytime
Yeah.
soon.
But see, the thing is those rivals were healthy.
Right.
You know, we're making this one too much of a race issue.
It is.
You know, and I don't like that. Like, fuck, we've had a black president now. Like, can we quit this bullshit? Like, it's not that big in our area, I know, so we probably don't see a lot of it every day. You know, I'm not in the cities where I can see more of it. But, you know, it's not that big of an issue around here.
Right.
You know, and if it is, it's because you're bringing it onto yourself and you're thinking up things that aren't happening. Like, just to be simple, you know.
And yeah, I mean, you know, I'm one of the biggest people around that stats don't tell the whole story. But I think no matter how you spin this, she's the better player.
Yeah. Perfect. You heard it here. Right here on the Garage Time Podcast.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, future Hall of Famer. Come join our show.
Future guest star?
Future guest star, yes. I mean, she was on...
She's like looking down at us.
Yeah. She was on Kelsey's. They had her.
Oh, yeah.
No, she was awesome. I watched that episode. She was awesome. Like,
she should definitely be on our side.
Yeah, I mean, we're like the Kelseys, but more handsome.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I saw a picture of Travis, and he has a lot of back hair. No.
A few less Super Bowl rings, but otherwise...
Man, fuck them Super Bowl rings. I got more beers.
There you go.
I could not outdrink them.
No. No. Neither one of them.
Would you try?
I'd try.
I mean...
If they're sitting right here with us, let's go.
Like, beer for beer. Beer bong that shit. Let's go.
Oh, dude, I think Jason Kelsey is probably one of those people that, like, is never going to stop. Like,
no,
he would outdrink anybody you know.
Probably.
Like, you know those superhuman people that they're just, like, drinking and you never fucking know? Jason would be.
I mean, the Buffalo Bills game proved that. When
yeah.
he's out there shirtless, having a good time, you know. All right, well, let's get on to the GTR. So, you got your pool open. Several others are getting it, but pools need heat.
Oh, dude. My pool has been... I opened my pool the first weekend of May. As far as, like, drained it, cleaned it, filled it back up, got the filter going. Because I was like, we've had Mays that it gets super warm.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You know? And it doesn't take long. About a week of really hot weather and your pool's ready to swim.
Right.
But, dude, we have not had it. Mm-mm. Like, I got in my pool yesterday, and I'm going to be completely honest. I had like I said, worked all day at home on this terrible fucking home repair project, and the kids have been asking me for a month, can we get in the pool? Can we get in the pool? Can we get in the pool? And finally I was like, you know what? Get in the pool.
Right.
Like, it's 74 degrees, you're going to get right back out.
Shit.
Right? So they jump in, and I just stood there with the towel. Like, I'm expecting them to get out. Dude, they didn't get out. So they were in there for, like, you know, a half hour, and I'm like, well, maybe it's not that bad. So then I jumped in. Holy shit. I was like, this is freezing. Like, what are you guys thinking? And they didn't mind. They probably stayed in another 20 minutes past that. But we need some heat.
Yeah.
Badly.
I remember, so your wife sent us the video of Jax, and you could tell by their squeak.
Oh, yeah.
Cold.
Yeah.
Like, like, you could just, like...
I was like, dude, you keep asking to swim.
Like, yeah. So, but no, I mean, I've heard so many people, like, our local town pool opened up, and they had to shut down because the water wasn't warm enough.
Yep.
It's like, geez, who would have thought? Here we are, 1st of June, and we're not getting the heat yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
You know,
and
we got some 80 temperatures. I think it was 86 or 87 today when I was out on the roof, so it's coming.
It's coming. And even my father-in-law, he's got the whole solar blanket, like, full setup to get your pool as warm as possible, as quick as possible. And his was 79 this week. So it's like, a lot of people won't swim if it's not above 80.
Right, yeah. 80 is the cutoff for most people, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, even him doing everything he can, he's not even at swimmable temperature yet.
Right.
So,
well, 80 is kind of chilly.
It is.
When it's only 75 degrees outside.
And that, yeah,
warm.
it depends on the temperature outside.
Right.
Yeah. And now that we've got this rain, I mean, who knows? My pool's probably going to be below 70 tomorrow.
Oh, probably. I mean,
So,
we got 2 inches of rain probably tonight, so.
And you hate that because, number one, living in Illinois, we don't have that long of a swimming season anyway.
No.
There's been times that we can swim in September, but most of the time, no. And even if it's not swimmable, I'm still putting chemicals in, I'm still running my pump, I'm still cleaning the surface, I'm still skimming, I'm still vacuuming. For what? Like, we're not using it.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Like, you basically what you just said. You spent a whole month of May prepping the pool, maintaining the pool.
I've been in twice.
But in May you were in it once, right?
Yeah. I got in briefly, very briefly.
So like you said, I mean, you probably feel like you're just
Yeah. Like, I could have waited until June 1st, honestly.
right. Yeah.
At this point, I could have set it up 2 days ago and been in the same situation.
Yep.
So,
And that sucks. That's got to be
is.
depressing, you know.
yeah.
But hopefully we get some heat for the pool people. So another one, and I actually thought of this while we were sitting outside of your house the other day. Everybody hates bugs. Everybody's got their own repellents they use.
Mm-hmm.
So I use Buggins.
Yeah.
But is Buggins is that the go-to, or the better ones, or do you need to switch it up because certain insects get attracted to your Buggins and you need to change?
So I think there's a difference. Like, if you're in the woods, obviously you're DEET, try to keep the ticks away. I don't know anything that works for flies. And I know that everybody says this works.
Yeah.
Pine Sol works, mint works, Dawn dish soap, nothing fucking works. Right? Flies are just where flies are.
Yeah.
I do think Buggins works the best against gnats, though.
Yeah.
And I think it's the vanilla. You know, somebody was telling me that they don't like to use any type of chemicals, so they buy vanilla extract and put it on a cotton ball and do this when they go outside and swear they never get bit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a person that gets bit a lot. Like, I will be fine sitting there with mosquitoes around me and my wife is getting chewed up.
Yeah, I get bit all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Buggins, if anything, for me.
I have super oily skin. I don't know if that just
Could be.
brings an attraction or something. I also can't stand bugs anymore. Every year I get older, I'm like,
I
get
think
away
when
from me.
They're buzzing like right here or right by your ear. Just,
Yeah,
you know.
whack.
Yeah.
Freaking head rings all day because I smacked myself too hard in the face.
Or when you're playing baseball and you're out in the grass and there's just gnats everywhere.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I hate it. Like, I'm sure it's coming up with the mugginess now and the humidity that came out. Coaching third base,
Yeah.
kids are stealing.
Kids are stealing. Yeah. What are we doing?
Like, I don't know what signals he just gave me, but
Oh, man.
yeah, no, I'm big on Buggins. I've been using it for years. I think it works out the most consistent.
And there's not a lot of chemicals, like it's essential oils.
You know, that's another thing. Like, with everything else that's chemical in the world, I can see why people are saying this, but chemical usually works the best.
Right. Yeah, it does. And I will say, like, as a person who doesn't get bit, I at times maybe get frustrated because we'll be sitting outside, it's a nice night, everybody's hanging out, and my wife is like, can't stand the bugs. And she wants to go in, and I'm like, oh, we're all having a good time. But again, I don't really
Having a good time.
I don't really get bit a lot. But I wish there was a better answer. And we've done the citronella candles. A few years ago, when at our old house, I planted citronella plants, mint, and something else around the pool. I did peppermint oil, like wipe the outside of your pool with peppermint oil. It's supposed to keep bugs away. I don't think anything does it great.
I think the best thing is a fire.
The fireworks, yeah. You smell
Get
the
the
smoke,
smoke.
but yeah.
You know, but you can't just burn the whole yard down every time you're trying to be outside.
And I spray my yard too. So I've got like this 7 insect spray that you put on the end of your hose and you spray your entire yard. And we still have bugs like crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know we, a few years back, it was hot in May. I made a birthday party, and the wife went and bought like $50 worth of stuff to spray in the yard. And I was like, I just threw $50 away. Because there's still bugs here.
Right, they still come back.
Right there, you know. So, all right, well, the next topic's a little fun.
I like this one. Kind of leads into our next topic.
Yeah, no, the next two are great. So, obviously, this is still the GTR here. So, this is a report on what we got going on. Snow White is going to OnlyFans.
Yes.
Well,
let me look up her name.
The actor of Snow White from the previous one is going to OnlyFans, not Snow White herself.
Yeah.
Which I might be more intrigued if it was Snow White.
So, the Snow White live action that happened
2 years ago, right?
something like that, yeah. Rachel Ziegler is her name.
Okay.
And terrible reviews. Everybody said she wasn't a good actress, like no emotion whatsoever, flat here, not flat here, flat here. And,
Flat in the face.
Yeah, flat in the face, stay with me. Just terrible actress, right? Terrible reviews.
Yep.
And then apparently this past week, she's like, you know what? Done with Disney, launching an OnlyFans. Hey, paycheck's a paycheck, right?
Yeah.
Cutting out the middle guy. There's no
You
director.
Morally, you want to stand here and be like, hey, I can't do OnlyFans. I'm sorry, these chicks that are showing their buttholes have less problems than you and I do.
So do you think like her debut OnlyFans video is still going to have the 7 dwarfs?
If I was her, I would make it that way.
Instead of a candy apple? Never mind.
No, but like using her background, like, oh, if this chick's got midgets around her, like some weird group is gonna actually gonna be set.
And like just the exposure of it. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
she already, Disney put her out there, which has happened how many times? Like how many times has these actors and actresses gotten into Disney, and she did very briefly, but how many times have they gotten into Disney and then just went off and did something completely separate?
Yeah, I mean,
like that was their launching point.
You know, I would imagine the acting world, industry, whatever, is very tough.
I'm sure.
And probably not very forgiving. So, you know, if she's not doing very well, she's getting those kind of reviews, she can go somewhere where none of that bullshit matters.
Is showing your butthole on the camera very forgiving? I don't know.
Do they care?
I don't think people care. Like
this is all. Okay, so my only argument I have against this is, if you have a family or you have kids one day, they're gonna be like, "Hey, dude, I saw your mom's butthole."
This is never going away, right?
Oh, no, exactly.
Like, nothing on the internet dies.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, like, even if you never have kids, you may have a husband, right?
Right.
You may have a husband who's sitting here and goes, "Hey, dude, this was your wife," or like, let's be real, your dad's gonna see this. Your grandma's gonna see it. Yeah. They're not gonna look it up, but they're gonna see it.
You go to a wedding, you know,
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I used to subscribe.
One new picture message. What? Yeah, like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I don't know. It's working. I mean, you got these sophisticated women that do OnlyFans who have a nicer house than you and I and 2 other people combined.
I mean, we live in a society that we're completely supporting this now. Like, you can make a living off of being an influencer. You can make a living off of making a podcast. And if you want to take it even further and you're not afraid of showing nudity, you can go even further. And there's people out there that have fetishes or are lonely enough that they're going to pay money for what you have to offer.
Exactly.
Which brings us into this next thing.
Yeah.
So what were they thinking?
Good old Sydney Sweeney, baby.
Man.
So she made a soap
with Dr. Squatch.
Dr. Squatch that has her bathwater.
Supposedly.
No.
Supposedly 5,000 bars of Sydney's bathwater bliss. That is Dr. Squatch soap made with her bathwater.
So I can tell you, it doesn't taste very well.
I have told so many lies since this soap came out.
No. I've read a lot of articles on this, seen a lot of comments. Yeah, what were they thinking? Like,
all right, there's so many different ways to go with this. On one level, there's all of these guys out there that are like, Sydney Sweeney, fuck yeah, I want her bathwater. You know, like, oh man, that's great. Okay. Because she's attractive. She's famous, she's attractive, she's young.
Yeah.
Guys want to be involved in that. I get it. But on the other hand of this, that's dirty bathwater.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't want anything to do with that.
Like, think about that though. If she's in the bath, that's dirty bathwater. You know what I mean?
One thing I hate the most in this world is feet.
Yeah.
Her feet have been in that.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah, I'm good. Like,
right. And
not a chance.
Do you offer different scents? Like, this is Sydney's post-gym bath.
This has been there for 2 days.
Sydney's water heater went out and she didn't bathe for 3 days. We have 500 bars. Like, I mean, it just... And then all the jokes. right?
Oh,
Like,
right, yeah, you gotta have that too.
This smells like sweat. This smells like a fish truck. Like,
Dude!
yes, all the people making jokes about it. But
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
the bottom level of this is like, you want to look at Dr. Squatch and be like, what are they thinking? But at the same time, they've probably sold out.
Yeah, they made their money. They don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a business for them. It's a business play for all of them. I mean, Sydney Sweeney getting her money. Dr. Squatch getting theirs. The people that are buying the product are getting whatever freaking fetish they have for this to buy the product. So it's definitely odd.
Yeah, I mean, there's people out there that are obviously interested.
No. Speaking of that, we're gonna make our own bath.
Yeah, we're gonna sell our bath water. If
So-
anybody is interested, we'll make you a deal.
I'll give you a whole tub free.
Yeah.
Tub full free.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be selling it. It's gonna be right here. We'll show you an ad.
Check this out.
The other part of this story, the comment that really made me like, oh, that's fucking funny, is okay. You got a board meeting, right?
Okay.
All of these people are sitting around. Guys, we've done Star Wars, we've done Jurassic Park, we've done Minecraft. What soap are we going to release that people are going to buy? Okay. Imagine the motherfucker that's got this idea and he knows when he's about to speak, I'm either getting promoted or everybody thinks I'm a creep. And he's Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. Like the guy that came up with this, what the fuck?
So, she had to approach him about this, right? She had to know somebody.
Did she approach or did they approach her?
Oh, God, I'd like to think that she was like, I can make money off my bathwater if I get with somebody that'll sell it for me.
They were all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this is sold out. Actually, while we're talking, I'm going to look up and just see.
No, because I would like to think that we're not that creepy of a society where we're like, hey, I'm going to send Sydney Sweeney's marketing team an email requesting her bathwater for a soap I want to sell. You think she...
Oh. You can't buy it.
You can't?
All of the bars are being... You have to enter a giveaway.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. All of the bars are only available if you win a getaway. Or if you win a giveaway. 100 lucky winners. And you can only get one per customer.
Huh. Weird.
Experience the ultimate blend of outdoor serenity with notes of pine, Douglas fir, moss, and Sydney's bathwater.
No. No, thank you.
That's messed up, dude.
How many are you buying?
I ordered 3. It just wow. I can't believe we're in a place that somebody wants to buy this. But then again, I guess I can see it.
But you guys won't buy nothing from us.
Yeah. Smacking sunflower seeds.
Yes, keep buying those. Yeah, I've seen some people out at the park. Oh, look at what I'm trying. I'm like, please tell me you got this from the. No, I found them at Farm at Home. Or no, I found. I'm like, you mother. Like, text me. We have a link. I will give it to you. You can buy 10 times as much through our link, and you don't have to pay Farm at Home prices or Hy-Vee or whatever the heck you're getting it from.
You get a discount. We get a kickback.
Yeah,
it
like,
makes so much more sense.
Help us help you, and make us money in the process.
In fact, for right now, if you order 2 bars of our bathwater soap, we will send you 2 free. And we'll throw in a package of Smacking Sunflower Seeds. You pick the flavor.
Now we have
Sunflower seeds
too.
with our bathwater.
Yep, and Sydney Sweeney's.
Are you bathing with her? Or are you just mixing them afterwards?
Whoa, don't be talking that shit, buddy.
Well, I was just wondering how you got the bath. You said our bathwater, like.
Our bathwater. We're bathing together.
Oh, we're bathing together. Okay.
No, don't be talking that shit. My wife come around here and kill me.
Right. She's not gonna mind if we bathe together, though.
No.
Can we have bubbles?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We'll blow them at each other.
Can we do this next episode in the bubble bath?
That'd be awesome.
Bring in a guest star.
My wife told me it's not cheating if it's with you.
So we want you to be a guest on our show. Bring a bathing suit. Don't ask questions.
Who is this for?
I will figure it out.
Yeah. Sydney Sweeney.
I don't, you won the contest. I don't know.
And next time we're gonna have, some big old fat dude.
Here.
Logan.
Hey, Logan. Hey, maybe we'll bring Keegan back. Keegan, you want to bathe with us? Come on, man.
Keegan would do it.
He'd probably bathe with us.
Yeah. So,
all right.
that wrap it up?
I think so. New episodes every Wednesday.
Watch this one, please.
You never know where this is going to go.
Oh, so many wrong turns that make it a right turn.
Yeah. And do us a favor. Like, we consistently don't get a lot of views, but we get talked about how much everybody loves watching it. If you're watching it, sign in and interact.
Yeah.
And share it would be nice.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, last week I went to a ball game with my nephew, who's 8. And he's on a teeter-totter with another kid. And he goes, "That's my uncle that does the videos."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Thanks for throwing me out there, pal. Can go tell your parents." Like,
I've had patients come into my office and been like, "Hey, you do the podcast, right?" I'm like, "How do I pull this up and it says 20 views and we've got all these people asking?"
yeah, but I get to appreciate the fact that they're talking about us.
For sure.
Interact with us though. That's what we want to do. Like, we're here to talk to you guys, interact, maybe come up with some cool ideas. See where the thing takes us. Where maybe you'll end up on the podcast one day, or a short video of some sort.
For sure. I think
the next time we decide to go swing on a playground, you'll be there.
I think we've got great ideas moving forward for this podcast. So this is the great
100%.
time to get into it.
But it was fun. Yeah.
All right, Dr. Pepper, Sydney Sweeney, and
Smacking
Sunflower Seeds. Please reach out to us.
New episode drops on Wednesday, which is tomorrow.
Yep.
We're filming this one on Tuesday night, getting it done right in the nick of time. So
yeah, that's a
because
first.
Kyle had home repair issues that he had to take care of, so kind of delayed things, and baseball got in the way, and
tornado warning.
Tornado.
We had all the things
tonight, and we braved the weather and got it done. So
all right.
that's what we brought to you. Follow us on our social medias. Are we still doing all the?
Yeah, I need to get on and I need to upload. Now that it's a new month, we can upload some new onto Apple Music and things like
there
that.
We go.
So
yep.
we are everywhere that you podcast. Limited episodes available audio, but we are available every single episode, everything we do on YouTube and Facebook, and we're very active on TikTok as well. So like, follow, subscribe. Until next time.
It's garage time.